Hi, my name is Mark Dempsey. I'm an author and journalist, and I'd like to tell you about my experience with the Big Brothers Big Sisters organization, their home office located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Well, on February the 7th, I wrote an email to the CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters. Henceforth, she'll be referred to as Elizabeth the First. And I described a project that I was working on that would provide good role models for kids and that would encourage them to read and to stay in school, and would also be a financial benefit for Big Brothers Big Sisters because I thought it would lend itself very well to garnering more foundation and corporate support for the organization. Well, that was on February the 7th. Well, the next day, Elizabeth writes me back, and this is exactly what she had to say. She says, "Dear Mark, thank you for your email. Why don't you send us a write-up of your idea, and I will see that it is reviewed by the appropriate folks here at the national office. We look forward to receiving your thoughts." Well, that was very nice. All right, so I sent her the package, and it arrived at her office on February the 14th, which was a Friday because I had the package tracked. Okay. Well, on February the 16th, I emailed Elizabeth and I said, "Hey, I just wanted to follow up with you, and did you get a chance to look at the project that I sent you?" Didn't get a response. Well, 2 days went by. Now we're at February the 18th. 2 days went by, and I sent her another email inquiring about the project to see if she had had an opportunity to review it. Well, I didn't get a response from her then either, but I did get a response from her assistant Tina, and this is what Tina had to say. "Mr. Dempsey, Elizabeth has received your materials and referred them to Lord Do Nothing, VP of Philanthropy. Mr. Do Nothing has been traveling and unable to review and respond. I'll be sure to touch base with him early next week." Well, that seemed pretty secure, pretty solid foundation. She said she was going to touch base with him early next week. Well, let's see now. On February the 22nd, that was a Monday, the very start of the next week that Tina referred to, I said to her, "Thanks for your note. I look forward to hearing from Lord Do Nothing." Well, the entire week went by. Didn't hear a thing from Lord Do Nothing, not a thing. I was expecting to, but I never heard anything. So on March the 1st, keep in mind, my first email was on February the 7th. Almost a whole month has gone by, and I only wrote a 2-page letter. I can't even get a response on a 2-page letter. That's for the financial benefit of Big Brothers and Big Sisters. So this is what I tell Tina, and I CC Elizabeth on this. I said, "I never heard from Lord Do Nothing. It would have been nice to have received at least the courtesy of a reply from him. My package arrived at your office on February the 12th. It is disheartening not to have received a response, especially after I was assured that the project would have been reviewed. I spent a lot of time on the proposal. It is deeply disappointing." And when I wrote those words, it was deeply disappointing. Well, I got an email that same day from Elizabeth, and this is what she had to say. She said, "Mark, Tina tells me that due to our board meeting last week, Lord Do Nothing could not respond, but she will follow up with him this week. You have my sincere apology for our lack of follow-through. Elizabeth." Well, that certainly sounded nice, but I just have to ask, why didn't Elizabeth read the proposal herself? And why did she allow her assistant to deal directly with Lord Do Nothing? Why didn't she contact him herself? You see? And doesn't that sound a little dysfunctional to you? Well, needless to say, I never heard from Lord Do Nothing. Never heard from him. Never got a response. I was assured that the package would be reviewed. I was assured that I'd get a response, but I never got anything. Zero. So I was very, very disappointed. This project was about providing support for mentors, people that give their time generously to kids. It was about helping children, to provide them with positive examples, positive role models, to encourage them to stay in school, to encourage them to read, and to, quite frankly, to give them hope. Many times they don't have hope. And the top people at Big Brothers Big Sisters never responded. They never cared to even ask one question about a project that would provide support for mentors and kids alike. Now, you know, as a mentor, you really need to help kids in a variety of ways. And the first way is to be responsible. Mentors should tell kids or help kids to be responsible. Well, were the top people at Big Brothers Big Sisters responsible when they received my package? No, they weren't responsible at all. Another thing that mentors teach kids is to be honest, to be trustworthy. In my opinion, were the people at Big Brothers Big Sisters honest and trustworthy? Did they set a good example? No, they didn't do that. Were they courteous? No, they really weren't courteous. Were they respectful? No, they weren't courteous and they weren't respectful. If they had been courteous and respectful, they would have given me a reply within a reasonable amount of time. They wouldn't have turned their back on me. They wouldn't have just shut the door, especially after they said they were going to review and give me a reply. You see? What about professionalism? Isn't that something that you'd like to teach a young man or a young girl? So they can go out to the workforce and work for someone or start their own company? Of course. But were the people at Big Brothers Big Sisters, in my opinion, professional? No, they weren't. So here we have people running an organization that is dedicated to mentors, and they can't even do the right thing internally. How on earth would they be ever able to communicate those qualities that I've just rattled off here to mentors around the country? It is disheartening, and it is disappointing. It still is. I never heard from them. I never got the courtesy of a reply, and I wish I had, because mentors deserve more. They deserve better, and so do the kids. I wrote Greg Page, who's the CEO of Cargill. He's the chairman of Big Brothers Big Sisters. And I sent him all the emails that I just relayed to you, and I sent him a letter telling him about exactly how I felt about this situation. Did I hear from Greg Cargill or Greg Page, who's the CEO of Cargill? No, I never did. Not at least until this broadcast. Never heard a word. But anyway, I wanted to let you know about that. So the next time you give money to Big Brothers Big Sisters, just remember who you're giving money to. And just remember maybe that your money could be put to much better use elsewhere. Thanks for listening. I'm Mark Dempsey, and if you have any questions or comments, please do feel free to email me at markd112@yahoo.com, markd112@yahoo.com. Thanks for listening.